Before we begin, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell for more amazing videos. Woman finds sickly stray on the street. Now the dog's unrecognizable. When one woman took in a stray dog, she had no idea what she was getting herself into. 2 years later, this poor animal's transformation is absolutely unbelievable. Pia took the skeletal dog home with her immediately in the hopes of trying to save him. In all honesty, it looked as if he wouldn't survive the night, but at least she could make him comfortable in his last hours. A dog in need. On December 23, 2017, Good Samaritan Pia discovered a small stray dog that was in need of immediate attention. He was frail and weak and had lost most of his fur to sickness. It seemed impossible that this dog would ever fully recover from his ailments. Pia was visiting a friend in Buenos Aires, Argentina, who first told her about the dog. The friend had seen him in the neighborhood but had been unable to catch him. Although he was very sickly, he still had some power left in him. Losing the will to live. Pia couldn't believe that nobody was trying to help the poor dog. By the time she found him, he was lying on the ground and wasn't moving. It seemed like the end for this dog, but Pia was determined not to give up hope. She knew that as long as he was alive, he could recover. Given up. There was no shine in his eyes, recounts Pia. At this point, he'd given up. Pia knew she needed to do something. With the right medical care, she knew this dog could recover, and she was the only person who was willing to make that possibility a reality. Too weak to complain. While ordinarily a stray dog might be wary or even hostile toward unfamiliar humans, this pup was far too weak to protest. Pia wrapped a blanket around him to keep him warm as she tried to decide what to do next. Bleak diagnosis. Pia managed to place the dog in a cage and took him to the vet. She was told that nothing could be done, and at best they needed to wait until Christmas to see if he even survived. Pia was not about to give up yet. A new plan for Christmas. Pia took the skeletal dog home with her immediately in the hopes of trying to save him. In all honesty, it looked as if he wouldn't survive the night, but at least she could make him comfortable in his last hours. A hard fight. The long night that followed was heartbreaking. The mangy dog was too weak to move and couldn't eat. Pia had to stay at his side, carefully tending to him. It seemed unlikely that he'd make it to Christmas. Constant care. While the dog couldn't eat, he could at least drink water. Pia kept topping up a bowl to keep him hydrated, holding it up to him so he could lap it up. This alone was much more care than he was used to, which soon started to brighten his eyes and change his spirits. Strong spirit. In spite of his condition, the little dog refused to give up. Pia could tell that he wanted to live, and somehow he endured his first day with her. Little did either of them know that this wouldn't be the end of their incredible story. A fitting name. In recognition of her new friend's fighting spirit and the miracle of survival, Pia named the dog Hercules. He might not have been strong enough to stand up, but he was definitely strong enough to stay alive. He would soon prove even her wildest expectations wrong. First step, stay alive. Pia didn't know what she would do with Hercules in the long run. Eventually, she'd need to find him a new home, but in the meantime, her priority was keeping him alive. There were 2 times when she was certain Hercules was going to die, but somehow he kept on living. Making friends. Pia and Hercules continued to bond as he slowly grew stronger. Even small actions like moving his legs were beyond him, and he was still too weak. But things that seemed impossible so recently, like drinking and eating, were quickly becoming possible. So Pia held out hope for more improvements. Getting better. Eventually, finally, Hercules began to become more mobile. He was able to move his front paws and started growing back some of his fur. Even this improvement made him unrecognizable from his former self. He already seemed like a new dog. Muscles needed. It took longer for Hercules' back legs to gain strength. Despite encouragement from Pia, he was unable to stand up or walk around, but Pia stood by his side for as long as he needed. Achievement unlocked. Then Hercules conquered his biggest trial. According to Pia, once he was ready, he simply stood up without needing any help. Hercules once again lived up to his name by showing incredible strength that no one thought possible. Baby steps. Hercules had been so weak that it was almost as if he needed to learn to walk all over again. His first shaky steps were difficult, but soon he was walking like a newborn puppy. Ready for action. With more time, Hercules started not only walking, but running as well. He also started playing games of fetch as he felt stronger. At this point, it was nearly impossible to know about his past just from looking at him. Getting fluffy. Only a few short days after regaining the use of his legs, Hercules' hair growth sped up dramatically. Soon he was bushy and fluffy and looked significantly healthier. Time to say goodbye. As Hercules became stronger, Pia prepared to put him up for adoption so that he could find a new forever home. But how could she say goodbye to a pup that loved her so much? Forever home. In the end, Pia decided that she and Hercules couldn't bear to be parted. She adopted him herself, adding him to her family. Happy-go-lucky. As Hercules grew stronger, more of his personality shined through. Where he had been slow and reserved, he now bounded around the house, playing and yapping like any other healthy dog. A complete transformation. 2 years later, Hercules doesn't even look like the same dog. He's made a full recovery, and there are no signs that he ever went through such a horrible ordeal. Love shines through. The only real visible evidence of his journey is the love and affection he shares with Pia. It's clear that Hercules is eternally grateful to his human for saving his life, and now he trusts her completely. All's well that ends well. Hercules and Pia show that no animal is beyond saving. Their journey's been difficult, but they have each other, and that's made all the difference. Please spread the smiles by sharing these adorable best friends with your friends.